coming up. Please enlighten us a little bit about this friendship. St. Augustine officials have unveiled 2 new historical markers on Aviles Street, celebrating 100 years of friendship between the city and Aviles, Spain. The markers commemorate the deep historical and cultural ties between the 2 cities, with dozens of residents gathering for the event. If you're at the event, please put your name in comments. Mayor Nancy Sikes-Kline highlighted the importance of preserving and celebrating these connections. Nothing that Aviles is the birthplace of Spanish explorer noting that Aviles is the birthplace of Spanish explorer Pedro Menendez, who founded St. Augustine in 1565. The bond between St. Augustine and Aviles began in August 1924, when delegates from St. Augustine first traveled to Aviles.
On our dime.
A what?
On our dime, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Even in 1924, of course. On Sunday, delegates from Spain returned to mark the centennial of this relationships on our dime. Residents and visitors alike expressed appreciation for the newly shared history, which adds to St. Augustine's unique heritage.
Well, I mean, it's nice that we've had friends for 100 years.
Right.
You know, I cherish my friends that I've had for 50 years. So none of you guys can say that.
No. Very interesting. I don't really, like, if you went over to Aviles, Spain, and you talked to some of, like, the people there.
Hey, I'm from St. Augustine. They're like,
would they know? That's my question.
Louisiana?
Yeah. Like, what are they doing on their side to, like, commemorate this relationship? Or is it just us on our side? I don't know. The markers are located along a new art installation honoring the life of Pedro Menendez, Daddy P. Further enriching the...
You got some Daddy P?
You got Daddy P, baby. Yes, we got Pedro. Further enriching the nation's oldest city. So I don't know what these markers look like. Do you have any clue here?
I don't either. But I mean, I'm thinking of the history of that 100 years,
Please.
and they had a general named Franco that actually sided with the Italians and with Germany during World War II. So we kept that relationship during that time. I mean, so I'm kind of confused by like how that relationship continued,
right?
Or did it break apart and it come back and break apart and come back? I mean,
I don't understand.
I don't know
either.
if it was a continual relate, because if we were friends with them in 42, I got a little problem with that.
Yeah.
So,
right. That's weird. I know that Daddy P was buried over, what's it, over at the Mission? I didn't know that his tomb was over there. It was pretty interesting to find out the other day.
Yeah. No, and Pedro, he had an interesting life.
What was he like?
Well, I mean,
was he nice?
He was a military guy. He was about conquering. He was about his way of, the Catholicism at that time, which was kind of, religion at that time was very violent.
Yes, and guilty. There are a lot of guilt with the Catholics.
I mean, he was a bigamist, but it was very struggling for him because the reason he was forced to be a bigamist is in the Caribbean, he was kind of captured, and the only way he could get out is if he married the chief's daughter.
What?
So
I didn't know this.
There was that story that was involved, and then he had a religious struggle with that because he had a wife back in Aviles.
Oh my God! He's gonna go to purgatory.
Yeah. So in his mind, it was but he did it to save his people, and it was kind of a strange, very interesting person in history.
Was he a short man or was he a tall man?
No, I think he was average height.
Because Bobby in comments is saying Pedro is power to the short people, so I guess he was.
No, that's
back then. That was average.
Yeah, the one that they thought was short was they thought Ponce de Leon was short, but that wasn't necessarily true. The artist screwed up on the sculpture.
Oh, really?
And it just they're saying that he was 4'11" because that's the exact height of that sculpture.
Yeah.
That's when they exhumed his body. He was actually 5'7", which was a little taller than Spanish at that time.
Wow.
So that a lot of the things you hear downtown aren't necessarily factually true.
That's true. That's why you want to get a certified tour guide, because sometimes I walk by these tours and they're like...
But the story is so strong, if you Google height of Ponce de Leon, it'll show up as 4'11" because they've been telling that story for so long.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh, I had no idea on that story.
Yeah. So it'll show up. It'll show up as that. And the reason I questioned it when I got to St. Augustine is my grandfather posed. It was almost the exact same size as me. My grandfather posed for for the statue at the Leon Springs Park for Ponce de Leon.
Really?
His body frame was used for that.
I didn't know that.
So and he was about 5'7", 5'8".
Where is this place?
It was at the Leon Springs State Park.
Where is that? I'm not.
It's down near DeLand.
Is it really?
It's just a little kind of northwest of DeLand, I guess.
Oh,
but it's a really cool,
like
cool park.
Gaylord.
Yeah. They have the sugar mill there where you do your own pancakes.
Really?
Yeah.
I love a pancake moment. That's fun.
Yeah. No, it's great pancakes.
Is it really?
It's great pancakes. Yeah.
How do you like your pancakes? Do you like them ultra thin or you like a little fluffy?
I'm more of a thin than the smaller ones, because if they get too big, then they get cold in the middle, and I'm not a fan of that.
That's how they are at Bob Evans. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Bob Evans down
and then
on
pancakes are one of those foods that expands in your stomach and just makes
right.
You, like, no matter how many you eat, you're gonna feel like crap like 20
like
minutes
a brick.
later.
Yeah. That's fuel to the fire there. Yeah, absolutely. Well, with that said, how do you want to check the comments today, Troy?
Oh, on this intermittent torrential Tuesday, I will travel with terminal velocity into the tidings of the fans.